Welcome to Not E3 Watch, where we're watching what's going on during Not E3. This week on Wild America, Jonathan Taylor Thomas stars in Devin Sawa's dream about bears. What? Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, everyone, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast brought to you by Affable Idiots. I'm your host, Chad Michael Silly Putty Innes, and we've got over here, speaking of Silly Putty, Adam Gumby. Which is kind of like a clay thing.
Yeah, Gumby. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamas Roscoe.
Hola, me llamas Roscoe. Feliz cumpleaños. Welcome, everyone. We're about to have a grand old time here talking. It's good to be back. Good to be back. Prepping for... What do we call this time of year, Adam?
Not E3 is what all the websites are calling it.
It's so weird because no one's going to call it Summer Games Fest. Because that's just a terrible name.
Not even Jeff. He'll forget halfway through.
Exactly. And we, for decades, have been calling it E3. Like, E3 represents the summer announcement period. And now that is forever dead and gone, rest in peace, until next year when they decide they're going to do something no one wants. We'll just call this Summer Video Game Happy Time for announcements and friend play.
A friend play? That's an interesting one.
Yes. Summer Video Game Happy Time for announcements and friend play, brought to you by viewers like you.
All right, PBS.
So we're gonna talk all about Sony getting things started this month with a state of play. We've got all sorts of fun things coming up, talking about Pokemon, some Star Wars news, some peeks behind the curtain at what's coming next week. All of that's coming up. By the way, you can catch this show right now, live, straight into your ears and eyes on twitch.tv/affableidiots on Sunday evenings around 8:30 Eastern Time. We're about 10 minutes early this week. Or, of course, you can catch us on demand on YouTube and podcast services, 9 a.m. Eastern Time as well. So we're talking Pokemon, we're talking Star Wars, we're talking Summer Game Fest for happy times and friend play, but we're going to start today by breaking down Sony's state of play that happened this past Thursday. Ooh. Wait. Did I miss something? June 22. Okay, I was like, Sony state of play June 22. I read that as June 22nd. Like, there's another one coming June 22nd.
Apostrophe 22.
Got it.
To abbreviate 2022.
Do-si-do. Do-si, that's how you say it in Spanish. Do-si-do.
Yeah. Do-si-do. Yeah.
This comes from Adam Bankers at IGN, who's going to give us a bunch of this information. We won't necessarily go in depth with every single announcement, but we're going to call out what was actually like a really packed half hour that flew by, at least in my perspective. There were quite a few big names there. I think what most people are talking about afterwards is Final Fantasy 16, which is what they ended the show with. And they have a new trailer, a couple minutes long, with a ton of looks at summons, which look like they are going to be huge in the story. The summons have always been like a part of Final Fantasy. Sometimes they're just like cool friends you can call upon during a battle, but they seem to be like essential to the plot and everything around the story, which seems really, really cool. Your favorite friends are there: Shiva, Ifrit, Rama, Bahamut, all your friends. They're all there. And they're all having a good time with friend play in Final Fantasy 16. The protagonist, Clive Rosefield, was also featured in this Dominance trailer and showed how he and his team will take on many enemies and undoubtedly get in your way in the game's story. It's going to be released. We finally got a release date, summer 2023 on PS5. No PS4. There were several times in that thing where they showed PS5 and PS4. This was one of those where they just showed PS5. And I said, loved it.
Did they say PC on this one? I don't remember.
Ooh, I do not remember, sir. I do not remember.
I don't remember either.
Now, Adam, I know that you are not a JRPG nor Final Fantasy dude per se, usually. Did this new trailer float your boat? Is your boat up in the sky in Noah's Ark land?
That's where Noah put the boat right up in
Well,
the sky,
well,
didn't
he
he?
put it on the ground, and then God said, "We're going to bring you to the sky with water."
Oh, that is the Russell Crowe version.
Uh-huh.
No, this doesn't do anything for me. It's the thing where you can almost make like an AI generated version of a Final Fantasy trailer where it's like dudes cling swords real close together, big monsters shoot electricity, and then a big monster punches the ground, and then soldiers run at each other, and then a guy in a throne room talks for a long time. Classic Final Fantasy trailer.
Yeah.
So again, not for me. I don't like this traditional old school JRPG style game, but it does look very pretty. And everyone's very excited and good for them. Because yeah, it does look great. I'm very happy it's only next gen. Because what's a PS4? What's an Xbox One? I don't know what those things are. Get those out of here.
They're dead. Rest in peace. We'll learn about them in the history books.
Yeah.
That type of trailer, while yes, you just described every Final Fantasy trailer ever, completely works on me. Completely works on me. Yeah, I saw those summons and I was like, give me more. The combat did look. I know there was a few weeks ago, some kind of story where we were confused about whether this was going to be a one character game where you control a single character throughout the game. But no, it does look like you do have a party that they're switching in, although it seems very seamless the way that you kind of switch, almost kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake style. So
it looks like 7 Remake where it's like action-ish. It's not necessarily like Devil May Cry,
right,
but sort of where you like control people and tell them what to do kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Very interested to learn more. We will, of course, see more coming up soon this year. And then again, the game is out a year from now, summer 2023.
Big year. 2023. Got
2023. Yeah. Speaking of 2023, the show opened with what everyone knew was in development, but we are all excited to see. Resident Evil 4 Remake is officially on the way. And it will be released March 24th, 2023. Presumably the last week before Capcom's financial year ends, so that they can say, look at what we just released this year. What's really interesting about this is that they are looking to reimagine, quote, the storyline of the game while keeping the essence of its direction, modernizing the graphics, and updating the controls to a modern standard. What also was kind of shocking there at the end is that PSVR 2 owners, whenever that comes out, will also be able to look forward to some type of VR content in it. Although that's all they said, just like VR content in development, which was really exciting to see. Now, we played this. I don't know if you played along with us. This was before you were part of the show. We played Resident Evil 4 for a barf game last year. And basically the consensus was like, this game is dated as fuck in terms of controls and is not fun to play, but it's cool and the content is cool. And it seems like they are doing the Resident Evil 2 remake version of things where they are completely throwing everything about how the first one controls out the window. They are not necessarily being faithful and making a one-to-one remake. They are just reimagining this for a modern audience and a modern console generation, which I am all about. What's your spooky? I know you're not a spooky games guy, but do you have a history with Resident Evil 4? Are you into it?
I played Resident Evil 4 before. I played it at a friend's house on his GameCube because remember, I'll cut off my head with a chainsaw if it goes anywhere else.
That's right.
So I did play it a little bit on my friend's GameCube. Had a good time. I like 4. 4 is not one that I've beaten, but I do enjoy 4. And I'm really a big fan of how they've been doing all the remakes. I think they're kind of at the end of the rope of things to remake, but like 2 remade was really awesome. 3, I mean, people were not ass hot on that one, but apparently, it's still good. So them doing the full ass remake from the ground up sounds good. Because yeah, I don't want to play an old video game. I'm sorry, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But if you do it brand new, I'll be happy to check it out. And then I mean, we're gonna get into it because the state of play is a lot about PSVR 2, but a lot of hints at like we got PSVR 2 stuff coming, guys. Can't tell you anything else. So I wonder that one. I don't think that one's this year. I think next year. But anyways, no, this is the one everyone wants. After they did 2, they have full confidence in me that they'll do it good. So people will be excited again.
Yeah, I think from here I think what's left is to go back and remake Resident Evil 1 in that same style. Because they had remake back on GameCube, but it's still, the inventory management is trash. It's still like a slog to get through. So I think if they just reimagine that whole thing, that's the last like remake thing that they can do. before they start dipping into things like Code Veronica and the Chronicles games and all those shit, because no one wants.
They're gonna give us 5. You're gonna be like, remake of 5. Huh?
To be honest, like 5 is fun co-op. Like it's a good fun
5's
time.
one of the ones that I've beaten.
Yeah.
But also that game is a 360 PS3 game.
Yeah.
That's where you get a full ass remake. But I mean, I guess it's been long enough.
Right after that, more Resident Evil news with the revelation that Village is coming in full to PlayStation VR 2, similar to how 7 was released on PlayStation VR, which is wild. And the trailer, like the graphics look really, really good for a VR game. And that was one of the drawbacks of 7, is that if you're going to play it in VR, everything is dumped down a little bit, but you kind of didn't care because you're still immersed in this world. But this looks like it's going to be a really fucking terrifying experience. And I cannot wait to do it and scream my ass off and scare my neighbors and shit my pants.
What's really funny about this one, I mean, no spoilers, but it's also been out for over a year. There's a lot of hand stuff in that game. So they're all like, hey, your hands are in VR. It's like, man, your hands get fucked up constantly in that video game. So that'll be fun in VR, like just to like have like 8 missing fingers or whatever. And they're like, I remember keep playing.
In Resident Evil 7, kind of close to the beginning, like within the first half hour, there's a part where you're laying on the ground and you see, I think her name was Maria, and she comes at you and she stabs your hand with a pair of scissors or something like that. And I this was at the time where I was like recording video of me playing it so I could sync them up and show what was happening on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I watch the video back and I go, and I'm just staring at my hand, like freaked out that my hand has just been stabbed. So I can't imagine what my body's going to think whenever I'm feeling the haptics and the controllers of my hand getting all fucked up. I can't wait.
I mean, there's a great GIF. I mean, you played Village, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the spot. I think it's whenever he activates a switch or something, and then the blades come and cut both his hands off, like completely.
Yeah.
What is that going to be in VR? Just it's like, well, there they go.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Those hands, the things that happened to his hands got to the point where I was laughing out loud every time something happened to his hands. And then at the end, it makes sense. It's fun. So yeah, that's coming sometime in the future when VR 2 is released. Again, they're kind of dodging any commitment of Windows or anything like that. I was wondering if we were going to see one of these games like slip up and tweet Village coming to VR 2 March of 2023 or whatever like that. So, but no one has yet so far. And then speaking, I'm gonna come back to this next one here. Right before or right after Resident Evil Village, they showed off another VR game with zombies. And I was like, damn, 3 zombie games for VR 2 right in a row. And then it turns out it's Walking Dead 2, whatever the fuck. I can't remember what it was called.
Saints and Sinners.
Saints and Sinners 2 for VR. And immediately, as soon as I saw that title, I was like, oh, that's going to be dog shit. That Walking Dead brand is trash now. Nobody wants anything to do with it.
I did hear that VR game is pretty good. People who played it's like, people say it's pretty solid. But again, I also, it's a good VR game, whatever that means.
Right. There's always that caveat on it where like it might be cool to like be immersed in that world, but it might not be a good game. Who knows?
Yeah.
Coming back, Street Fighter 6. This was a surprise to me. Like, it's not a surprise that it was coming out, but it was like what it is was a big surprise to me. Coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 in 2023. Also coming, apparently, to Series X and S and PC, which is a surprise because Street Fighter 5 was exclusive to PlayStation. Street Fighter 6 is being built on Capcom's Resident Evil, or RE, engine, which was used for 7 and Village. And the reason is because there's like an open world part of it. There's an open world part to this Street Fighter game, which is weird to me and kind of blew my mind a little bit and has intrigued me about a Street Fighter game like I've never been intrigued before. It's going to allow for more improved graphics alongside a more stylish experience to be filled with explosive splashes of paint and the striking graffiti treatment. I'm not personally into fighting games at all. I cannot justify the cost of them because I don't get enough enjoyment out of them, and I can't seem to be good enough at them to want to play them for extended periods of time. So I will not be playing this game unless it's free to play, which would be a great model for it. But what did you think about Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, I kind of like fighting games. Don't like Street Fighter specifically. Like, give me NetherRealm and I'll play Smash with friends, but I
Yeah.
specifically do not like Street Fighter. But no, it looks great. I mean, it looks gorgeous, and I'm sure it'll do great in the competitive scene. I like the art style. So yeah, and then it not being exclusive, I thought was pretty crazy. But I guess, I don't think Street Fighter V did super great being only on one console.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
especially when it came to fighting game community, I don't think that they were super huge fans of that. So I guess it makes sense. Free to play, I don't expect that to happen, but that would be a cool idea.
Yeah. I think Capcom is they haven't really done a free to play thing, have they? Because they've got Monster Hunter.
It's weird. Five, I remember five having a lot of free to play elements, but it was a full price game.
Yeah,
But then
because
they
they
were
had like
like, do the
characters that
seasons
you
and unlock the
continually
stuff.
unlock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But no, that'd be cool.
Another VR thing here. We got an extended look at Horizon Call of the Mountains gameplay, which looks like it's gonna be maybe one-on-one fights with the machines, which looks dope. I cannot wait. Like when you go into VR, the most impressive thing that like just blows my mind every time is the scale of everything. So to be able to like sit there and stare up at a Thunderjaw is gonna make me freaking cry with joy. I cannot wait. Let alone having my bow and arrow, my tripwires, and all this kind of stuff, figuring out how I'm gonna destroy these things. So that looks really cool. But there's also what kind of makes me nervous is that it seems like a huge climbing element to this game, like getting to the top of this mountain and climbing. And the game Robinson the Journey, which is actually like one of the first VR games that came out on PSVR, and it was about finding dinosaurs and shit. There was some climbing in that, and one of the thing that has scared me more than anything else in VR. Like I've done roller coaster shit, I played through all of Resident Evil 7 in VR. The thing that has scared me most was climbing in this Robinson the Journey. You're climbing over this airplane wreckage, and you're climbing on this wreckage, and then it says, all right, your next one is down below you like 30 feet. You got to fall. You got to let go and fall and catch it. And holy shit, that made me want to throw up in my own freaking face.
I remember there's also an Ubisoft game specifically. I think it's Ubisoft. I don't remember, but it was just about climbing, where it's just like the Climb VR or whatever it was, and it was like climbing up.
It's one you always see in memes and
walls.
shopping malls where people are like climbing and like falling all over the display, and yeah.
They actually made two of those because I remember they made another one you like climb buildings and stuff. But yeah, so the one-on-one dinosaur stuff. First of all, it's got the big dinosaur feet. Whoever was horny for that,
Dallas.
somebody who listens, weird.
Those giant feet, those sexy
horny
feet.
for dinosaur feet. So that stuff really does look cool. The one-on-one fights, I think, should be, having the bow and arrow in VR should be a good time. I think it looks pretty good. I think this is a kind of a thing that you need at launch. Be like, hey, here's an exclusive, like, AAA VR game in a world that I think that'll really help move some units, and it'll be cool. And then you'll just have to get over it because you're gonna climb. You're gonna climb, bro. Nothing you can do about it.
Yep. Speaking of world that Horizon Forbidden West got a short little blurb where they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna add performance mode updates." Like one of the biggest things while I have not touched this game yet myself, but I was watching Matt from Rhode Island play it, and we were toggling between performance mode and fidelity mode, and just like the particle effects in performance mode are gross looking. They look ecstatic.
Performance mode looks like trash.
Yeah.
The game looks like awful in performance. Well, it used to. I don't know if it does now.
Exactly. So now they're getting a performance mode update with better graphics on performance mode. So I'm excited to dive in and see what that looks like. Transmog, so that you can keep your benefits of your armor but have it look different. Reset your skills. There's an ultra hard difficulty, new game plus, more trophies, all that. So I'm feeling good about my decision to wait in order to play that game. We'll see if I still get to it this month.
Doubt it.
Shut up. Shut up. Don't call me out. There were so many exciting things here, but this is like one of maybe my top 3 things in the entire state of play was the Callisto Protocol. This is a game from the Dead Space developers set in the world of PUBG, which is
not
still
set in the
weird.
world of PUBG anymore.
No, it's not?
Yeah, it was like 3 days before they're like, actually, we're not doing that anymore.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but sure, I like the idea of a shared universe. But fine if it's not, because it still looks fucking terrifying. It's a horrifying world. It is, I think it's next gen only as well. Maybe. but it gives me huge Dead Space vibes. Like the monster designs look a lot like Dead Space as well. So Dead Space, this is coming out December 2nd of this year, which is great because I did not think it was coming that soon. And then just a couple months later, we're actually getting the Dead Space remake as well. So there's going to be a very spooky holiday winter season this year. I'm very excited about.
The funny thing, I mean, I forgot the name of. I'd have to look it up, but the names are literally. It's like Necro something in Callisto Protocol. It's like, oh,
really?
You know what you're doing here.
And then, yeah, the
it's
necromorphs
like,
from Dead Space.
Yeah, it is. It is something. But yeah, we're getting that in December and supposedly getting Dead Space in January. So you're gonna have a fun time with your spooky stuff and your space spookies. That's really cool.
I'm trying.
It's like
So
Necrophage or
I was
something?
trying to figure out the name of them, and there's a Callisto Protocol Facebook page, and there's a person
Oh, God,
named
here we
Necro
go.
Christian. Necro Christian. Oh, I have to log in to see this page, and I don't have a Facebook. So, all right,
I'm not
whatever.
that worried about it.
We got a new trailer for Stray. Remember Stray? Forgot that game
Mhm.
existed, but yeah, a little cat running around the city, going meow meow. July 19th, babies. Go meow meow in 6 weeks. And here's the first of what I'm sure will be many, many other ways to entice you to upgrade your PlayStation Plus subscription. If you are subscribed to the higher price tiers, Extra and Premium of PlayStation Plus, you will get Stray for free whenever it comes out on July 19th. So get your wallets ready. And another,
Definitely once you hit that middle tier, don't they?
yep, that's exactly what they want. And then once you're in that middle tier, you might as well just throw the extra couple of bucks to be able to play PS1 and PS2 games, right?
Yeah, worth it.
In a kind of surprise, not really a surprise, but like PlayStation is making more of its moves to PC, showing Spider-Man Remastered, the 2018 game will be on its way to PC on August 12th. Miles Morales will also be released on PC, but you'll have to wait till later in the fall in order to play that as well. And this is kind of indicative of something that Sony released a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where they're like, by 2024 or whatever it is, we want to have half of our games coming out on PC and mobile. And obviously that does not mean like, oh, we're gonna play Uncharted 4 on a phone. No, they're just gonna have a mobile game, I'm sure, in their catalog. So
I do like this
yeah,
because mods, baby. Let me tell you, PC, there's gonna be some nerd on here who's gonna just put all the Spider-Man in there
yeah.
from the past stuff. Bruce Campbell will show up randomly.
Or Spider-Man's going to be
it'll
Homer
great time.
Simpson now, and
Yeah, absolutely. That's always the first one. Is Homer
you're throwing
Simpson.
Teletubbies around.
Yeah, and the best news is we get Miles Morales, which is the better game, later in the fall. So that'll be
That's
really cool to
exciting.
see.
I wonder, do they have? No, they don't have trophies.
On PC,
You have Steam achievements though,
achievements.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you actually do get it, the same trophies as you do achievements because I remember playing Horizon and that stuff would pop up. So yeah, I think it's probably
Okay.
a similar list.
But is it? Do they count towards your PlayStation trophy level, or are they Steam
Don't think
achievements
so.
that count? Yeah,
I think they're Steam stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
Nah, forget about it. Speaking of VR again, VR2, there will be No Man's Sky re-released with VR2 that game. I think Matt from Rhode Island said it best. He was like, "Well, or one of these days, I can't remember the exact quote that he said. Just like one of these days, Hello Games, like they're just gonna get it. Like we get it. You came back. Your game is good now. We get it. You don't have to keep telling us that because this trailer is just like, holy shit, is all of that in No Man's Sky right now? Because that all looks fun, and that game was not fun when I played it. So if it's free on
Game's
VR
great.
too, I'll play it.
They just put a new expedition mode in there too. They just keep at like every 3 months. They're like, here's a thing. Here's like 20 hours worth of content every couple months for free. So,
Right.
all right,
All right.
sure.
We got another look at Season, A Letter to the Future, which will be released in autumn 2022. Appropriate word there. Autumn. Gameplay is all about, interestingly enough, it's about exploring, recording, meeting people, and unraveling the world around you. So we saw, like, you were finding sounds, and you're holding up a microphone towards them to record them. So that kind of, like a peaceful, almost. We've kind of used this term to describe a couple games this year as the chill beats to study, relax to, or lo-fi hip hop beats. And it looks like it might be one of those games to just kind of chill out and go record some squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, we already talked about. Eternites.
Eternites. Roscoe.
Roscoe. Feliz cumpleaños. Great. That's coming out. I didn't care too much for it. I don't remember anything about it because I didn't care for it.
This next one, though.
Roller Dome looks dope.
Cool.
This is futuristic skater shooter Roller Dome coming to PS4 and PS5 from Ollie World's Roll 7. This is a game. It looks like Tony Hawk mixed with like Jet Set Radio mixed with, I don't know, Metal Gear Solid. You're just blasting bad guys in mechs while you're roller skating around.
You do like a pop shove and then you shoot a guy.
yeah. It looks fucking dope. And the art style is like this cell shaded, but like most things don't have shading on them. It's just like really a flat cartoon aesthetic. It looks really, really cool. Go look at the trailer for Roller Dome. That's coming out. Again, it's one of those things where like you constantly move. Like you probably get style points or some kind of multiplier if you never have to like crash while doing a trick or something like that, but you were able to chain together kills, whatever it is. It looks dope.
If they don't have that Superman song from Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I'll be very upset.
If Spider-Man is not a playable character.
Oh man, Spider-Man and Darth Maul.
And then the last thing in here, I said we weren't going to talk in depth about it, but we went down every single one because it was such a good show. The last one, Tunic, which was on Xbox Game Pass and was on PC in March, is now coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 on September 27th, 2022. Very excited. I never finished that game. I got maybe halfway through it, and something else, I'm sure it was Destiny, came along, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I never got a chance to finish it. Maybe I'll pay money for it and get trophies? Maybe? On PlayStation 5? Maybe?
You know, pay money to not beat it.
Shut up. If it's got a platinum trophy, I'll beat it. And I'm sure it will.
Yeah, go ahead and support those cool indie people. I'm pretty sure it's a Devolver published game anyways, right?
I don't remember.
I might be wrong. I'll Google
anything good is Devolver published, so probably.
That's what I'm saying. If it's good, it's probably from Devolver, right?
Yeah. So that was it. That was the Sony PlayStation State of Play for...
no, it's published by Finji, but still give these guys money.
Yeah,
they make a good game.
It's good. This was honestly, to me, one of the best, if not the best State of Plays that there's ever been. Like, I feel like every single announcement almost was like an important game or had some good information or a kick-ass trailer. We got release dates for a lot of things. So I was really impressed by this. It was not a showcase, which is usually like, look at all these amazing kick-ass games coming in the next year and a half. So we might still have one of those later this summer in not E3 friend play time, but
friend play time. Yeah, as far as State of Plays go, we haven't had a. Again, people are like, temper your expectations. I'm like, that's probably a good way to live life, just in general. Because the showcases are the cool ones. State of Plays, you're like, maybe there's a cool indie thing, maybe there's nothing at all. But this one, even as someone who doesn't care about Final Fantasy and all that, I'm like, this was probably the best one that they've had in a while that I can remember. A lot of stuff from the Japanese partners, some cool looking VR stuff, which they talked about they were going to do. Some cool looking indies. I think it's pretty solid. Again, I don't remember the last good State of Play, but it wasn't the last one. I don't think it was the one before that either. So I think this is the last good one they've had in a while. So a thumbs up for me. Pretty solid.
I'm wondering, we've got to be getting more PSVR hardware news soon, right?
Probably.
I mean, they
maybe
released
do a showcase.
Maybe. They did say they're going to have like 20 plus games at launch for it. So we've seen maybe 4 or 5 of them by now. We just got to know. And I'm sure it's just like they're still trying to get a handle on production of PlayStation 5, let alone another giant piece of hardware. So they don't want to like make any promises yet. But still, man, we know everything about this headset except for when it's coming and when I can play it. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, I feel like I've been talking a lot, and I will continue to talk a lot through 2 of these things. So I'm going to turn it over to you for playtime, where we're talking about what we played this week. What'd you play?
I played having COVID, so I didn't play anything at all.
Whoa! You played
Yeah.
Read That Thermometer.
Yeah, that was a fun time. So I COVID, so I didn't actually feel good to play stuff. I played a little bit. I played like a movie or two of Lego Skywalker Saga. Just I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and beat Return of the Jedi because why not? I'm here. Um, but I did actually catch up on TV shows before I got sick and after I got sick.
Ooh,
So I guess we'll
ooh.
put that here. So I've never watched it before, but I started watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes, sir.
that first season is hilarious. Would not get made today, but very
Nope.
fucking funny. I'm like, this stuff is too much, but it's very good. It's very good. Um, so I'm in the middle of season 2 of that, and God, yeah, I never watched it before.
That's
Like
one
I've
of my
known the
favorite shows. That show is
yeah,
me and like pooping farts, screaming, watching people
yeah.
fall. Those are my top 3 favorite things, and that's
Like
everything
I
about that
always knew
show.
the memes, but I didn't know the context for the memes. Like I just saw the episode where Charlie's doing the rope dope
Uh-huh,
punch
uh-huh.
when they get him in the fight club and he just beat his ass. It's a good time. So yeah, I've been watching that. That's been good. But then I also started watching Burn Notice because
That's
yeah, why
that's
not?
out of left field. All right.
Yeah, you know Burn Notice? You've heard of Burn Notice before, right?
I am aware that it exists. Who's in it?
Jeffrey Donovan is the main guy, but then Bruce Campbell's in it, I think is the main thing that everyone
Okay.
remembers. Bruce Campbell in Hawaiian shirts.
I'm thinking
He's
of
a
something
spy.
with Glenn Close. What's she in?
It's probably a movie called Burn, if I had to guess. I have no idea. Um, so I started watching that as well. Again, I'm
Okay.
just watching old shows from 2007 or
What is
whatever
Burn
it was.
Notice about?
So Jeffrey Donovan plays a spy who gets blacklisted and dropped in Miami, and he has to figure out what happened to him. But then every episode, he's also like, oh, I need money, so I'll help these people out. So it's basically like MacGyver
Okay.
because he's a spy and he's doing like weird spy stuff and tricks and stuff. Just like a procedural MacGyver. I used to be a spy show with Bruce Campbell. That's the main thing. Bruce Campbell's in it, so you know.
Okay. Go on a walk with
That's a
me.
great time.
Go on a walk with me.
Yep.
There's an actor
Yep.
who looks kind of like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And he used to be on some TV show about being a cop. It's like
Mhm.
The Shield or something. It's not The Shield because I looked at The Shield and this is clearly not it. Rescue Me? Is that it? Rescue Me?
Okay. I mean, Rescue Me is a TV show. It's been on for a very long time.
Rescue Me? Yes, with this Willem Dafoe looking motherfucker in it. Okay, when I think of Burn Notice, I think of Glenn Close's Damages mashed up with this motherfucker's Rescue Me. Mush those together,
Okay.
and that's what I think of. I've also never seen any of these 3 shows,
Yeah.
but I've seen
Doesn't sound like it.
I've seen previews for I guess all of them but Burn Notice. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just having a good time. And then I think I watched something else, but I can't remember. But yeah, I basically just was like, hey, what can I do while passing out every 3 hours? So
Woof.
yeah, having a good time with
For parallelism, I'll start with what I watched as well, entertainment
that. Oh,
wise.
did I watch a movie? I watched Footloose, but I watched something else. Wasn't there a movie that came out?
Top Gun?
No. Bob's Burgers. I did see Bob's Burgers before I got sick. That's a good time.
Yeah.
But anyways, continue.
That's the last on my list here.
that's the
BB,
BB
Bob's
right here.
Burgers. Yep. I saw the
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers movie. I've only ever seen like a handful, like a one-off episode of Bob's Burgers here and there while my roommate in Chicago was watching it. So I was, my friend here was like, "Hey, you want to go see the Bob's Burgers movie?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Went and saw it, and a lot of it was like, just doing that the whole movie, and it made me chuckle a lot. And I was like, oh, "Let me check out this TV show." And I started watching the TV show yesterday, and I'm like 7 episodes in, and I'm just like, "This is fucking hysterical." This
very
is very good television. So, watching some
I'm glad
BB.
you're a fan. That first episode, I just watched that first one today. And when they're in the pilot, they're making fun of Tina. And they were like, when she was back there scratching her crotch or whatever. And they were they said, leave her alone. She's autistic. And she's like, yeah, I'm autistic. They're like, you're not even the good autistic. And he's like, how many toothpicks are on the ground? She's like, 100. It's like, Tina, it's 3.
There's 3.
3. And he drops one more. How many now? 3? She said, you're not even the good autistic. I was like, oh my God, this show's wild. This show's
Yeah.
good.
And then I saw Top Gun Maverick. V good. V recommend. That
Everyone says
movie
it's
is
good.
fucking wild. I love it. Especially the last act is just like so freaking good. Go see
Did
it
you
in
see it in
IMAX if you can.
IMAX?
Yep, saw it in IMAX
Yeah.
in San Francisco. The whole last act of the movie is all in like that full format in IMAX too. It's beautiful.
Very good.
My parents saw it in some tiny little like family owned theater with a shitty screen, and afterwards coming out of it they're like, oh my god, I want to go see that on a good screen because I feel like I missed out on a bunch. So that's what I've been watching. In addition to The Staircase on HBO Max, good for the whole family. $14.99 a month, or there's an ad-supported version as well. That's $9.99 a month. You can get HBO Max. The Staircase, very good show. Toni Collette is incredible, and watching her die is the most
Oh,
gruesome.
it's a show about somebody dying?
Yes, she dies in the very first episode, and oh god, it is the most disturbing, gruesome thing I've ever watched. But it's also a true story, and I'm so glad that I didn't pay attention to the news in my teens because it's a true story about a man in North Carolina who was like running for some political office, and his wife
Killed
dies
his
from
wife?
falling down the stairs, and the whole show is exploring: did he kill her? Did he not kill her? Who knows? So
He killed her.
finale's on
Let's be
tonight.
honest. Oh, okay.
We'll see.
You gotta
I don't
catch
know if he
that.
killed her. That's the cool thing is that like this happened almost 20 years. It happened more than 20 years ago in my home state. I didn't pay attention to shit. So I'm glad that I don't know the ending yet.
There you go.
All right, video games. Played some Fortnite with my boy B Rent Pork Chop over on Twitter. We got ninth twice, got 38th and 39th the next two times.
There you go.
Not go well, but yeah, we played a little bit of Fortnite Fridays, hashtag Fortnite Fridays. What is DIB?
You write it down.
Destiny
You don't know
Iron
what it
Banner.
is.
There's a new mode for Destiny, and Iron Banner is something that comes around a few weeks out of each season. And they brought a mode called Rift in, which is buggy as hell. The like objective, it's basically capture the flag. You capture a spark, and you have to bring it to the enemy's thing and bank the spark. It's really buggy, and like 1 out of every 5 matches ends in some glitch, and we lose for some reason that we couldn't have prevented. But it's still fun. It's really fun, and I've played. I can't even tell you how many matches this week. It's been insane. That's all I've been doing this week is playing Destiny Iron Banner. So that's been real fun. And then, what the fuck is PGF? I just wrote these things like 30 minutes ago.
You played yourself.
PGF. Oh, Pokemon Go Fest.
Okay. Yeah.
Pokemon Go has this annual Go Fest every single year. It started as something in person in Chicago, in Grant Park, like the second year it was around. And now, after the pandemic, it's just everyone in the world. You pay $15 in game for a ticket, and there's an in-game event happening all weekend. And so this weekend, like the last few times, they've just generally been like, all right, every hour we're gonna switch habitats, and for this one, it's gonna be like a rainforest theme, and these Pokemon are gonna be spawning. There's like exotic things that only spawn in certain parts of the world that are now spawning here for the very first time. And every hour it changes, and there are objectives. There was a storyline along with it this time that like you can follow the storyline and have different objectives as you go. And they gave you a choice of like, how do you want to play this? Do you want to really focus on battling? And we'll give you a bunch of battle focus objectives. Do you want to focus on exploring? And we'll ask you to like walk distances, earn treats with your buddies, spin a bunch of Pokestops. Or do you want to focus on catching Pokemon and like being really good at throwing curveballs and that kind of stuff? So I thought that was cool that it's like, how do you want to play this weekend? Let's cater to your play style. And then they asked you, like, what do you want the difficulty to be? Like, easy, medium, or expert level? And they're like, hey, the rewards are the same for all of it. It's just like, what kind of challenge do you want to have while you play? It's like, oh, that's super dope. And I, of course, chose excellent. And I was like, why the hell did I do this? But, so, yeah, me and Atreus, we went walking down in a little town of Campbell. Has a bunch of gyms and Pokestops all kind of congregated in one area. It's really popping down there for Pokemon Go related activities. So we walked around there for 4 hours yesterday. And then today they introduced, like it's still going on right now. Well, for the next 3 minutes, they introduced the concept of ultra, they're not portals, ultra something, where then these ultra beasts come in. And I was like, what the fuck is this giant?
Oh, from Legends, right?
No. This is from Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh, yeah.
Because I looked these up. I was like, what the hell is this America jellyfish with fangs? That's enormous. And so they're, yeah, ultra beasts, and there are 12 of them, and they come from like this extra dimensional ultra space thing. And they're
Mm.
not, they're, it happens so random, like quickly that like the ultra beast is all disoriented when it gets to this world. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And he's usually angry because of it. And then also we're like,
Yeah.
where the fuck did this thing come from? So everybody's angry. And like our world, like our Pokeballs don't even register it as a Pokemon because it's like from this
Mm-hmm.
extra dimensional thing. And so in the game, apparently, you have to use these special beast balls or whatever. But of
Bullets.
course, yeah, you have to shoot it with a fucking rocket launcher. So that was cool. We have our first Ultra Beast, which I just learned was a thing. It came out today in raids. So that was fun to be able to capture that big, sparkly starfish, jellyfish, too.
Very cool.
Had a good time with that. And then here's the last one. So D:I.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Diablo Immortal.
Oh, yes.
Diablo Immortal released on mobile and PC this week. This is the game that when it was revealed at BlizzCon, people fucking lost it in a bad way. Like they were so pissed off, started like protesting Blizzard. They started like interrupting the conference and stuff like that, like shouting things and trolling like the people on stage. Like they were pissed. Because Blizzard's like, the next thing in Diablo's coming. Everyone's expecting Diablo 4, and like, look at this free-to-play mobile game. And everyone's like, fuck you. Adam, I'm going to tell you that this is probably the best Diablo game that exists today.
Of course it is.
Is that
has
not
to be.
wild?
For how much people are going to be mad, I'm like, watch it be good.
Yeah.
That's how that shit always works.
Yeah, I am. So as you know, recently I'm looking for excuses to play games on my iPad Mini so that I can justify having it. And I was like, let me load up Diablo Immortal. I'm a big Diablo fan. It's like one of the very first games that got me into gaming with my brother. And this game is the full Diablo experience. It is like if you were just looking at, like, if you didn't see the UI and like how it's touch-based UI, you would think you were looking at a new expansion or level in Diablo 3, which that kind of production value is really cool. The world is just as dense. There are side quests. There are all sorts of cool things happening. There are things that are better on this. I honestly think when Diablo made the jump to console, it was a huge deal that like Diablo 3, you could play it on a console with a controller. Like no one, everyone's like, there's no way this is going to work for a controller. And they figured it out and it worked really well. And then after playing this with touch-based controls, I was like, holy shit, this is much better than playing with a controller. And you're able to do the same skills. You're able to do cool things where this is similar to what I was talking about with Fantasian, where like you press and hold on a skill and you drag up or like move your finger around to aim it on the screen and then you let go and it does it at that point, or you press and hold something and it like widens your area of effect. And it works so much better than it ever should or could have been able to on mobile. And the fact that it is free I played for probably an hour and a half today. And probably the first hour, I was like, I have not been asked to buy anything. I was like, I literally have no idea how they're making money on this game. Because there's not a link to a shop in your first hour of playing. There's not any indication that you can, if you wanted to, put money into this. And then after you complete your first quest, it then, like, your menu expands. And you're like, by the way, there's cosmetics, there's a shop, you can buy this currency, whatever. I was like, oh, okay. That's how they get you. And they got me.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing a monk character, which in a lot of D&D lore, it's not monk as in like, I'm going to heal you. It's monk as in like, I'm going to punch the shit out of you martial arts style.
Wait a minute. Monk, I'm going to heal you.
There are games like Guild Wars. If you play a monk class, it's like, I'm going to heal you. Like, I'm a support class. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I've always known monks who just punch the shit out of people, but that's just a me thing.
Yeah, that's how it is in like a lot of like D&D based games. Is like, oh, that's a monk.
Yeah.
But there are some games out there where like monk means we're at one
Guild
with
Wars 2
God's
is off my
prayers
list forever. No, thank you very much.
So yeah, I'm a punchy punch, and I got this cool like thunder punch going, punching the shit out of people, and they're like, hey, there's a 99-cent bundle here for 60 of whatever this weird currency is, and also you get these kick-ass looking fists that look really dope. And I was like, yeah, I'll pay 99 cents.
99 cents, that's nothing.
Yeah, why not? And they have a battle pass. You can't buy the battle pass, but they have like a thing that unlocks with the rewards as you complete objectives, similar to like Fortnite or something like that. And they have like daily check-ins. Like if you play once a day, then you get this bundle of stuff. If you kill one enemy, not only just log in, but also kill an enemy, you unlock other stuff. So it's like, and if you do that all 7 days in a week, then you get this cool cosmetic helmet or whatever it might be. So I can see the cosmetics look really fucking cool, and they're just like basically skins for you pick up armor and loot and stuff like that, and you look like whatever your armor is that you picked up in the world normally. But then these are just like if you don't want to fuck with any of that and you just want to look cool, this is the way to do it. So
Here you go. All right.
I'm very
Look at
into
that.
it. I'm very into it. I think it is the best Diablo experience, and this is coming from someone who's beat Diablo 2 and 3 a trillion times over the years. Like this is the best Diablo has felt. Very excited.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I like that.
There are no if anything they streamlined it a little bit. Like even so much as you pick up an item, it's a very loot based game. Like it basically defined the loot based genre. You're always picking up something that's better than the last thing. And they streamlined it so much like you pick up something else and you open your inventory and there's a big green exclamation point. It's like, hey, this is better than what you got on. Put it on. I was like, cool, dope. That's what I want to know. Tap it, put it on, go back to playing the game. So I'm digging it, and it's free, and I'm gonna put money into it. So that's the game.
Live your best life.
That's right. All right, that's it for playtime. We're quite a bit into this episode so far. We're 40-ish minutes in, and we're just now getting.
So I
to the
didn't
quest
put
log.
that many stories. I knew we would make good time.
Let's jump into this quest log real quick and breeze through some of these things. Pokemon. Bears. Beats. Battlestar Galactica.
Roscoe.
Roscoe. New info on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which last week, if you would have asked me, is there a new Pokemon game coming? I was like, no, they haven't announced anything yet. Turns out, yeah, there's one coming in a few months. I forgot about it. Scarlet and Violet will be released on November 18th. There's a new trailer that came along with it. There's a new open world structure, different from what we saw in Sword and Shield. And there's a 4-player co-op option in this game for the first time.
Say what?
What? Not a whole lot there in terms of like how it'll work, but just know that you can explore the world of Pokemon in 4 players, probably in very specific parts of the game or in very specific designated areas. But the trailer shows off a lot of new Pokemon in this, a lot of new mainline Pokemon games world. Introduces 2 new legendary monsters, which look dope. They look dope. Koraidon, who's in Scarlet, and Miraudon, who's in Violet. Quote, these 2 Pokemon are said to have powers that far surpass those of other Pokemon. But details about Koraidon and Miraidon are still shrouded in mystery. They're like some fucking cool lizard looking shits with like cool Fiesta hat hair, and they look dope.
They're pretty cool.
There are a couple of new regular monsters you can catch as well, including everyone's new favorite Pokemon, Lechonk, which is a pig with some permanent some permanent tears. It is a grass/normal Pokemon called Smoliv, and Palmy is a new electric mouse Pokemon. I play Pokemon every single day, and these names are like, what the fuck am I saying?
You're like me trying to read Japanese.
The trailer also included 2 new Pokemon professors, Sada and Toro, who appear in Scarlet and Violet, respectively. A lot of newer mainline games I have not played, but I can't remember the last time we saw, or ever, 2 Pokemon professors. Usually we get like, I'm Professor Oak, or I'm Professor anyone other than Oak. We also got a look at Nimona, the player character's new friend, who is, quote, an experienced Pokemon trainer and serves as a reliable guide for you on your adventures. What that translates into is they're going to be the one that stops you every 3 feet and says, did you know that you can do this in your menus? Oh my God, this is a Pokemon Mart, and this is and these are my friends. Oh, do a good job.
I'm
Here's
your
a
rival,
candy.
but I'm actually your best friend, too.
Exactly, yeah. I was like, no, stop fucking talking to me.
So real quick, before here's the thing, right? We're all adults. And when adults get a hold of a thing, they always make it horny, right? So we saw these new professors, Sada and Toro or whatever. And everyone, of course, is horny for cartoon characters on Twitter for whatever reason. It was funny because it said they look like the couple from across the room has said that they're really digging your vibe. It's like, yeah, they do look like a
Yep.
they do look like a swinger couple. I'll give it to you.
Yep.
But everyone is horny for these professors, and that's fine. But let's remember, this is a children's video game. The professors will not swing with your 10-year-old player character. You need to relax. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I can't decide between which game I want to get, Scarlet or Violet. Just looking at both of these.
Get both.
Get both. Double pack
Yeah.
available now. Oh my
I'm
gosh,
sure there
you're
will
right.
be.
Hold on.
What, a double pack?
No, I'm
Or
just
you
on
looking at
Google Images.
professors?
I just Googled Sada and Turo, and there's one with the boy one, and he says, reply to Suki's comment, cover them up, slut. And then there's the girl one. She says, mildly muscular women think they're gods. Know your place. Yeah, there's some horny, thirsty people out here.
Always.
Yep.
Like, I'm a little tired of it. All right, guys? Stop being so horny. Let's relax.
A little bit more on the co-op here. Announcing the game's website following the trailer and the reveal. Scarlet and Violet promise, quote, a deeper experience with multiplayer gameplay. You will be able to explore the various locations of the region in these games with other players. You can discover new Pokemon and explore unfamiliar areas with your friends and family, opening the door to an adventure more perilous and fun than ever. I assume that's supposed to say perilous instead of previous. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know how this is going to work, especially because apparently the game is non-linear necessarily. Like a lot of
Just go
Pokemon
wherever you
games.
want.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't imagine that you could probably like fight your way through gym leaders with a friend, or that you could, go and maybe you can capture a legendary Pokemon together with friends. Who knows? But there are probably like designated areas you can go like explore. You can do group battles maybe. I don't know how that's going to work, and I'm sure they'll tell us about it soon. But overall, looks like Pokemon fans are getting another Pokemon game. I am not convinced. In our group chat, when somebody asked, like, hey, who's going to get which version? I was like, I have too many recent unfinished Pokemon games. I'm not convinced this is going to be any different than those yet. So,
But you love Legends so much.
Legends is so different, though. Legends is so different, and I was
This
all
one's
about
open
that game.
world.
Yeah, but the open world was the worst part of Legends.
No, well, sorry.
The best part of Legends was like the catching mechanics and the researching and all of that kind of stuff, and like that was all dope. But yeah, so I'm not convinced yet. I'm not excited about this. As I mentioned, like last week, I totally forgot it was even a thing. So until they convince me that it's going to be worth getting, I'm currently not going to pre-order or get this.
Understandable. Very interesting.
But what I am getting more and more interested in, Star Wars Jedi Survivor revealed. We all know Darth Vader's in the end of the other one. I'm sure he's going to be in this one too, right? Spoilers. Retroactive spoilers for what I just said 10 seconds ago, if you haven't played Jedi Fallen Order.
What was before what I said?
This comes from Jordan Ramy at GameSpot. Respawn has officially revealed the long-rumored Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sequel, and it is called Star Wars Jedi Survivor, scheduled for 2023 release. There was a CG trailer for it. Most of Cal's allies are notably absent, except for the delightfully adorable robot BD-1, who just got a Lego set. Cal faces off against a one-armed cloaked figure wielding a red lightsaber and encounters an exceptionally pale figure in a Bacta tank. Cal also has a new lightsaber, which rubs me a little bit like the wrong way. It's a new lightsaber, not the same one he used at the end of Fallen Order. It's only got one blade instead of having the option of splitting it in two. So maybe Cal loses his original lightsaber at the beginning and he has to build a new one right after they just released Cal's lightsaber at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and allow you to buy it for $200. They're like, by the way,
remember,
this is gone now. It's not a thing anymore.
Now, do you remember in the trailer, though, the stormtroopers are carrying a case, and they give it to the, looks like he's a Senate member or something, and he opens it up, and Cal's lightsaber's inside of it. So maybe that's where his double-sided lightsaber, maybe the bad guys got it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's got the same hilt, or the same emitter as the one from the other game. So, I don't know.
I am, every day I'm getting like 1% closer to playing Jedi Fallen Order again on easy mode. Now that it's
Mhm.
got the updates that apparently fixed all the things that I didn't like about the original game, to get me hyped for this one.
You should. Good game.
Yeah.
Game of the year that year, some people say.
Some people do say that. That's the thing people
A
have
lot of
said.
people say that actually. Yeah, it's crazy. No, I'm very excited. I was Star Wars Celebration had a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Getting this trailer was really cool to see. I'm a big fan. The basically everything in the trailer is all new, like characters, because they have the God, they're from Utapau. What are the name of them? The race, the dude who's talking, who looks like the Grand Inquisitor, but he's not the Grand Inquisitor. Different character. They just are the same alien. But he seems like he's part of the Senate and he's a bad guy. And then the guy in the tank, no idea who that is. That's a brand new character. No one can figure out who the dude in the tank is. Probably a dude from the High Republic, maybe? Because that tank is like overgrown and like real messed up. Maybe it's a Sith because he's like, shit, I gotta get some help. I don't want to do it. I don't know. But we're getting all kinds of new stuff and we don't know what's happening. But Cal is gonna be fighting for survival, which sounds cool to me. And I'm getting that BD1 Lego set. So here we go.
Oh, you are?
I got it pre-ordered.
Dope. Dope, dope, dope.
We'll see.
More great shit. Devolver Digital. Devolver Direct Showcase coming soon. They come from Darren Bonthwees at GameSpot. Everyone knows the winner of E3 every single year is Devolver Digital because they have their own Direct that is just absolutely fucking wacko. And
Have you seen this trailer?
I did. Yeah, I watched the trailer
Oh my
about 10 minutes
God.
before we recorded, and it is just as good. Just as good. I cannot wait. They have announced that they'll be joining Not E3 with a showcase of its own on June 9th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is like a half hour after Jeff Keighley's big Game Fest with friends play with each other fest ends. This is dubbed the Devolver Marketing Countdown to Marketing. It's all about numbers, 10 of them, counting down in descending order, something to be announced at the end. If you haven't watched the teaser for the event, highly recommend. It's a good 2.5 hours, lots of cursing and funny stuff in
Two and a
there.
half hours?
What? Sorry,
Say
2.5 minutes.
hours.
2.5 minutes.
Whew.
Yeah, 2.5 hour teaser for a 20-minute event. Yeah. It sounds like a Devolver, though.
Yeah.
The biggest thing at the end, though, which seems right on brand, like when I saw this partnership, I was like, of course. A mechanized version of cult classic game director Suda51 will virtually host the event from inside a giant robot suit. So go watch that. It's fantastic. So Suda51 is the person who did like No More Heroes, a lot of those like very Japanese anime like adult themed games.
Deadly Premonition.
Yeah. So very good team up for Suda51 and Devolver. I love it. Devolver added that there will be, quote, at least 4 video game announcements during the broadcast.
At least 4. All right.
For comparison, last year we saw Shadow Warrior 3, Death's Door, which is fantastic, Trek to Yomi, which was not fantastic, and a few other games. And this year we can probably expect more on Gunbrella, Cult of the Lamb, and Demon Throttle. So the Devolver Marketing Countdown to Marketing, again, is just after Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest live show on Thursday. So if you're listening to this on demand, it's in like 2 days if you caught this on the very first day it was out. It might be today if you're listening to this on Thursday. You may have missed it. That's it.
Go check it out.
Devolver always has great shit.
Cult of the Lamb. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, me too. What was the year before? Carry On. That was the one where you play as the monster in the game. Like that.
Yeah.
I never ended up playing that game, but it's on Game
it's
Pass,
so
I think.
good.
Or maybe it left a Game Pass recently. I don't know. But yeah, it looked really good. Like I'm always, God, I'm burping. This Mountain Dew
Easy
Zero
there.
Sugar.
Easy
is
roast,
just
go.
like, it's always, I'm always so interested in their shit, regardless of whether or not I get a chance to play it. And then our last thing on our list here for our quest log is Modern Warfare 2 gameplay reveal for the Jeffs, says Eddie McCooch at GameSpot. We got an announcement that Modern Warfare 2 is the next Call of Duty game. It will be revealed with a first trailer on June 8th. And then on June 9th, we will see the world premiere gameplay level on the Summer Game Fest live event, which again starts 11 a.m. Pacific time. Whoa. I think I have that in my calendar as 2 p.m. Pacific time. I got to change that up.
Mm-hmm.
Teaser trailer for Modern Warfare 2 focused on Task Force 141, the main teams from 2019's Modern Warfare. The group getting back together in the sequel to take down enemies once again. The ultimate weapon is team, Activision said, referencing Task Force 141. And of course, this game launches this fall, October 28th, for PC and consoles. Cool. I'm sure it'll be a cool trailer. I'm sure it'll be a game that sells a lot of games. Cool.
I just want Warzone 2. I don't give a fuck about the story.
Right? Right? Show me Warzone 2. Actually, I did really, really like Vanguard's single-player campaign, as short as it was. Yeah. But most other people didn't, I guess. All right. That's it for our quest log. Before we get to Game on Game Show, we have a segment from Adam. Segment from Adam. Ooh, ooh. Shimon.
Okay, that was an interesting one. So we're going to keep track with, hey, what are the best games of the year? Because we're keeping a running list.
That's right.
Are you paying attention at home? If not, you're not doing your homework. So this was really funny. I don't remember the last time we did it. Well, I know it's normally at the end of the month. But there were two games that came out at the very end of April, and I don't remember if they were mentioned. So Stanley Parable and Rogue Legacy 2 were both over
Stanley
90.
Parable. I forgot that came out. I want to play that.
So those were the end of April. If we didn't mention them last time, those technically were the highest rated things in the last month. But anyways, now when we go for May only video games, the month wasn't not a lot of bangers. There's some good stuff here though. Number one, Citizen Sleeper at an 84.
It's a game that great accolades from you and Cozy Bear.
Yeah, Cozy Bear. We talked about it on Grease,
That's
Grease
right.
Barf.
Grease.
Citizen
that
Sleeper
just sounds
cool.
like a bad phrase. Grease barf. Ugh.
Grease barf. It's not good.
No.
You don't want that.
No.
Number two was Hard Space Shipbreaker, excuse me, at an 83. That's a video game where you break down ships and make money in space. It's only on PC, I believe.
Okay.
Warhammer 40K Chaos Gate at an 80, which is XCOM Warhammer. So maybe a thing for Adam. And then Sniper Elite 5, also at an 80, which is the game where you shoot men in the testicles. And it shows you an x-ray. That's my favorite thing in this video game is just shoot dudes in the testicles because it slow-mo's x-rays. And it's just like, boom. It's like, oh, my God. Or to like shoot a dude's... of course, shooting a dude through the head, the bullet comes out the front of the helmet and then like ricochets into another dude's like a grenade that's on his belt and blows him up. Man, that's a good time.
That sounds
Sniper
good.
Elite. It's a good time. That one's also on Game Pass, just in case you feel like dicking around with an 80 on the weekend or something.
We're dicking around with an octogenarian.
There you
Love
go.
It. Yeah.
But yeah, not a super crazy month, but I got to report what's here. That's just my job. I'm sorry.
I think of all of those, the only thing that interests me in the slightest is Citizen Sleeper, and it's because you speak so highly of it. So,
yeah, it is fun. It's a good time. Everyone should check it out.
But the community voted that they don't want to check it out because it was the only thing that didn't get a vote in our barf poll, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. But for now, it's Game On Game Show. The Game On Game Show, we play a game called Game On, a game show on a game show. Game. Adam, guess what happened this week?
I don't know what happened.
That's the game that we're playing. Guess what happened this week?
What?
We're playing Guess What Happened this week.
Te amo Roscoe?
Te amo Roscoe. Feliz cumpleaños. We have a week's worth of video game historical releases, or people were born, etc., video game consoles, major events in gaming that happened this week through time. So I will, as is the case, I have 5 of these significant events or releases. I will give you the year that they released and the day, and a little blurb that might hint at what it is. And you have to guess what it is that released that day.
Okay.
We're going to start with June 5th with a good one. June 5th, 1981.
Oh, boy, it's a long time ago.
This hero is born looking like a sperm and dies looking like a splat.
Hero born looking like a sperm in 81.
In 81. We don't see this hero's birth on screen. But if you know anything about this hero, they probably were born looking like a sperm. And they died looking like a splat.
Oh boy, this is a tough one. I wanted to say Seaman immediately just because of but that was not 81. That's
No,
90s.
I will give you a hint in that the hero of this game is not human.
Uh-huh. I would assume if you look like a sperm when he's born.
So yeah, what kind of not human things on
Maybe
Earth?
Pac-Man? Pac-Man's the only thing I can think of, but I don't know if that goes that far
No,
back.
no, 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 no. There's like a specific animal that
Uh-huh.
like when it's a grown adult, you would have never guessed that it started looking like a little baby sperm.
Frogger.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Starts looking like a sperm, dies looking like a splat.
Tadpoles. Tadpoles are sperm. They're
That's
basically
exactly
big
right.
sperms. Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
Big meaty sperms. Yeah, Frogger Arcade released in Japan in 1981, June 5th.
Really? That long ago?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You probably couldn't even tell it was a frog at that point.
Why is a sperm on the screen?
That same day, June 5th, but in 1995.
Here we go.
I didn't write down what this was. Hold on. As if anyone's going to come look at this note and be like, what's the answer? 1995. Yo-Yo Ma is neither a yo-yoist nor a mother, but both are relevant to this SNES Cult Classics US release.
I want to say Earthbound.
Yes, it is Earthbound. It is Earthbound.
That's a stretch.
I mean, well, it was called Mother in Japan. The series
Yeah.
is called Mother, and one of your main weapons is a yo-yo.
Yeah.
So Yo-Yo
Yo-Yo Ma is a violinist.
Yeah, he's not a yo-yoist and he's not a mother, but both yo-yos and mothers are relevant to this SNES cult. See?
No, you're
See?
right.
See?
I like how your mind works.
June 7th. Fast forwarding 2 days. June 7th, 2004. For the first time in the series, you get to know what it's like to team up with 4 of yourself on GameCube. It's like a clone orgy with swords. A swordgy.
4 of yourself on GameCube. I want to say one of the Zelda games, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know the name of it. It's not like Minish Cap or is it Four Swords? Or
That is correct. Zelda Four
Is it Four
Swords
Swords?
Adventures. A swordgy. Released on GameCube in
swordgy.
2004, June 7th.
Look at that. Sworgy. I don't know if I've ever heard it called that before, but we can do that.
June 7th, 2005, 1 year later. Forget the suggestive orgy descriptions. This game notoriously actually had sex in it.
Okay. It had sex in
That's
it?
the clue. Yep.
Dave Mirra's BMX Triple X.
No. They- Think of all the games that have notoriously had sex in the game.
I mean, that's so many video games, dude. Let's be
Is it
honest.
really?
Yeah. You can have sex in every Sims game.
But not like nationwide
sex.
notoriety.
You can have sex in Grand Theft Auto
Huh?
3. No, wait, what year was this again?
2005?
Is it 3 or Vice City or San Andreas? It's one
San
of those three.
Andreas,
San
Hot
Andreas.
Coffee, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, Xbox and PC, 2005, June 7th.
He's like, your clue is sex. Oh, okay. Let me figure this out real
Didn't
quick.
know you could have sex everywhere. All right.
Bro, BMX Triple X, tell me, I was so excited, of course, as a horny teenager. By the way, this would have been the right time to do the professors being swingers when you're a child, when you're, an undersexed
Okay.
child, undersexed child. What a weird word to say. When you're a horny child, but you can't have sex.
Right,
is what I
right.
meant to
Yeah,
say.
undersexed child is like, that's supposed to be the thing. Yes.
That's normal. But no, like coverage on BMX Triple X and like DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball, man, super into it.
Okay, I did not know BMX Triple X was a thing, and I'm now looking up. It's like, that's okay, cool. And
I think
obviously,
Dave Mirra
everyone
took
knows
his name off.
DOA.
It
yeah.
was on there, but he took it away. But yeah, DOA. Yeah, BMX Triple X was like, there's the girl rides the bike with her boobs out or something ridiculous, and it looks awful, of course, because it's 2007.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah. Doing tricks in the air, going full like this with her tits
Yeah.
out. Okay.
So when you say sex in 2005
You're right,
video
you're
game,
right.
I think of BMX Triple X.
I was ignorant. Okay. Last one. June 11th, 2005. So 4 days after the release of San Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
I can't name a single Indigo Girls song, but I bet they were probably backstage playing this handheld console whose original color was their namesake.
What?
This I had nothing for this one. I can't name a single Indigo Girls song, but I bet they were probably backstage playing this handheld console whose original color was their namesake.
I just don't know who the Indigo Girls are.
You
and
don't
what
have to, but you have to
They
know
don't.
their namesake.
Yeah, I would have said Game Boy Color, but that was way before that.
No, that was Atomic Purple. But there was a handheld console whose original color was indigo.
Is it Game Gear? Is it something stupid as fuck?
No.
Is it a DS?
No.
Tiger Electronics.
2005 Game Boy Advance.
Oh, the Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
Was it the purple? No.
Yes.
What was the purple one? That was Indigo?
It was indigo, yes.
What was the other color? Teal?
There was indigo and I
Gray?
can't remember what was out at launch. I feel like it was just indigo for a little bit, and then they released in pink, like the see-through pink and white.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like a see-through blue color, like a light blue as well. I can't remember the order that they all came out. But
Man, how much better was the SP?
Oh, so much better. And honestly,
So much
I never
better.
had an SP until like last year, so it's so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. That's it for Game on Game Show. The Game on Our Game Show play game, blah, 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 blah. That's it. Thank you all for listening. You have homework. And in fact, part of your homework is now Adam's homework because y'all were bad at homework as a group. Your team project came in and no one could decide on anything. Over at patreon.com/respawn-aim-fire, you can get a couple things. One, there's a dope new wallpaper up inspired by our grease barf. So go get that, download it on all your things, tweet it at us. We love seeing pictures of us on your shit. But another perk of being a patron at patreon.com/respawn-aim-fire is that you get to tell us what game we play for barf, or backlog accomplishment with Respawn and friends. And for the month of June, we put up 4 frickin' games. They're all shortish games on Xbox Game Pass. And you all tied with 3 of the games. It's a 3-way tie out of 4 games. We know now that you just really don't want to play Citizen Sleeper. But now Adam has to break the tie between Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, Bug Snacks, and Isle of Bug Snacks DLC, and Life is Strange True Colors. So Adam, what are we playing for the month of June for Barf?
I'm going to roll. 1, 2 is the first one. 2, 3 is the second one. Wait. 3, 4 is the second one. 5, 6 is the last one.
Okay.
1 and 2 is the same. 1 and 2 is the same. And then 3 through 6 are the different ones.
We're rolling a D6?
I'm going to roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm rolling a D6. Damn. Number 6. So what's the bottom of the list? Life is Strange,
Life is Strange
True
True
Colors.
Colors is the Barf game for June. Woo! How appropriate, actually, for Pride Month. Excellent. Excellent choice, D6.
You know what? Totally on purpose.
Yeah, there we go. You didn't even roll a D6. You just like dropped a bead on your, desk and it went clink, clink,
An
clink.
indigo bead.
Yep, indigo anal beads. That's what we're playing for the month of June. Go play that. We'll talk about it at the end of the month. If you have played that game before, or if you are excited about playing it and would like to talk about it with us, come on the show. Let us know, because we are always looking for guests. It's always a good time, etc., etc. There was one other thing. Oh, we said D6. I never mentioned this in playtime, but I finished the first entire campaign of the Adventure Zone podcast.
Oh, yeah. I saw you tweet about that.
Fucking mind-blowing.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
I
wonderful.
had no idea that, like, D&D could be narrative like that and tell this amazing long story over 3 years with all of these interconnected parts and characters and pieces and things referencing back. Like, Griffin was...
It's almost like Griffin is really good at what he
He's
does.
so good.
He's so good. He's fucking
I love that,
fantastic.
like, the first... It literally took, like, 20 episodes before they started putting music and, like, sound effects and like, really bringing you into the world. And that's also about whenever he decided, oh, yeah, we're going to take a hard left turn out of these... the scripted books of, like, you go into a dungeon, there are goblins.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're going to make my own thing. It's like, God, it pays off. It's so good.
But then he even references stuff in those episodes that come up at the end. He's like, remember that person with the cloak you found in that second episode?
God, it's so good. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. And I've listened to now, I'm on the 3rd of their, like, experimental arcs that they're doing.
I'll tell you what to listen to next, because some of those things are better than others.
Okay.
All right.
All right, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you post non-E3 friend play time and
With
we'll have
friends.
breakdowns on all of that stuff while we play with each other friendly. We're gonna friendlily play with each other. We'll talk about it. We'll see you next week. Until next time, Roscoe.
Mi amor, Rosca.
Mi amor, Roscoe.